Welcome back to These Things Are Written. On this Thursday, we continue as we look at Acts chapter 23. So far in Acts chapter 23, Paul has had a plot against him to try to put him to death while he's in Jerusalem. The tribune, the Roman soldier who's over that area of Jerusalem, is protecting him because he is a Roman soldier, and he has been warned that the Jews are trying to put Paul to death, that 40 men have made a vow to take his life. We begin reading with verse 23. Then he, the tribune, called two of the centurions and said, "Get ready 200 soldiers with 70 horsemen and 200 spearmen to go as far as Caesarea at the third hour of the night. Also provide mounts for Paul to ride and bring him safely to Felix the governor." And he wrote this letter, in effect, Claudius Lysias, to His Excellency the Governor Felix, greetings. This man was seized by the Jews and was about to be killed by them when I came upon them with soldiers and rescued him, having learned that he was a Roman soldier. And desiring to know the charge for which they were accusing him, I brought him down to their council. I found that he was being accused about the question of their law, but charged with nothing deserving death or imprisonment. And when it was disclosed to me that there would be a plot against this man, I sent him to you at once, ordering his accusers to also state before you what they have against him. So the soldiers, according to their instruction, took Paul and brought him by night to Antipatris. And on the next day they returned to the barracks, letting the horsemen go on with him. When they had come to Caesarea and delivered the letter to the governor, they presented Paul also before him. On reading the letter, he asked what province he was from, and when he learned that he was from Cilicia, he said, "I will give you a hearing when your accusers arrive." And he had commanded him to be guarded in Herod's praetorium. This is the word of the Lord. The tribune, being a good soldier, a good Roman, passed this problem to kind of up the chain to Felix, who was the governor of all Judea. You see, when Felix was not in Jerusalem, the tribune handled most of the issues, but the big ones he passed on to the governor. Felix was a freedman, a former slave. He was of the house of the mother of Claudius, who was emperor then. His brother, Paulus, was minister of the emperor. He was a favored stepson, so to speak, of the mother of Claudius. Because his brother Paulus had kind of set him up in this position, and because he had such a powerful brother, he was free in his ability to reign in many different ways. Now, Claudius Lysias, the tribune, wrote this letter. If you notice, this letter follows the format of many of the letters of Paul, who wrote also in the form of the Romans. It was from, to, the governor Felix, and then simply greetings. Now, Paul takes that in his epistles and changes the word for greetings, Karen, to get charis, grace. So often, charis, grace, and peace, the Greek and the Hebrew meaning, way of greeting in many ways. Anyway, he talks about what had happened, why he was sending this man, Paul, to him, and talks about how he had rescued him. Where is this? Verse 27. And rescued him, having learned that he was a Roman citizen, almost making it sound like he rescued him because he thought he was a Roman citizen. And actually, he rescued him because he thought he was that Egyptian who was causing problems. Regardless, he writes the letter, and he sends it to them with many men to protect him from those who wanted to kill him. They go as far as Antipatris that night. It is 42 miles from Jerusalem. That would have been a hard march for those foot soldiers. There's 26 miles left to go. The cavalry took him there, those 70 cavalrymen, to take him the rest of the way to Caesarea. Felix asked him where he was from. He said Cilicia. So Felix could have offered him to go there, but instead decided that he would be able to hold the trial himself there. Notice in this passage how God uses government for his purposes, how he used the tribune and Felix to provide safe passage for Paul. And the government, the Roman government, was in many ways corrupt. It was pagan. It wasn't Christian by any means, but yet God used the government for his purpose. God is at work. God, as Paul says in Romans, set government up, and we need to obey and heed that. During this time, as we're approaching the elections, it's just a reminder to us. As citizens of this country, this great country of the United States, we have the opportunity, we have the privilege of taking advantage of this situation, of using our voice to cast our vote. I pray that as each of you goes to the polls, that you would ask God for wisdom, that you might do his will, and that his will might be done through all of us in bringing the people who will reign and rule over us in the years to come. May God grant us his wisdom and his strength today and moving forward in the months and years to come. Amen.